Hi, I'm Sam Roberts from Roberts Geospatial Engineering. Today we're going to look at the 2026 GEBCO gridded dataset. So GEBCO is the General Bathymetric Chart of the Oceans. They create a gridded raster product which is at 15 arc-second resolution. It contains both bathymetry of the globe as well as terrain. The terrain isn't of so much interest. The primary purpose of this product is to generate bathymetry for the entire globe using the best quality data available. Now they do an update every year, and 2026 dropped in April, so we're a few months late. But when they drop this data, what I do is I download the whole lot and I put it all together into a single raster in MRR format. So if we come down a little bit, you'll see that they have three products which you can download. The first is the top surface, the ice surface elevation. The second is the bottom surface, which is the surface below the ice. And the third is a classified raster, which tells you in each cell how the data in that cell was acquired. So I take all of those data sets, I put them together into a single MRR, and you can download that MRR from my website. So go to robertsgeospatial.com.au, and if you go to the articles data page, you'll see this section here. It's currently GEBCO 2025, so I'll update the latest version and you'll be able to download this data set, and it's about 6.7 gigabytes as an MRR. I'm going to use ProRaster to display what's in this MRR, so let's just take a quick look and see what's in it. So I've got an algorithm here where I have each band displayed as a layer in this algorithm. So let's turn on swapping so we can flip between the layers. So the first band is the top surface. So this is the RL, just terrain and bathymetry of the globe. You can see that we're seeing the top surface of the ice down in Antarctica and up in Greenland. Swap to the next band, which is the bottom surface. Now you can see that we're looking at the bottom of the ice, and you see there's depression there in Greenland and here down in Antarctica. So it's just swap between those. You can see the difference. Ice is present, ice is removed. The third band is the difference between those two. So this is a derived product. It doesn't actually come with GEBCO. So this is the ice thickness, and you can see that we have non-zero thickness up in Greenland and down in Antarctica. And then there's also some ice recorded across the Arctic. And then the second field is a classified raster, and this is the TID field and gives you an indication in each pixel where the data came from, and there's a classification table that shows you all of that information. So let's compare the 2026 dataset with the 2025 dataset. Just bring up this algorithm here, and again turn on our swapping so we can flip between them. There's 2026, there's 2025. You probably won't see any difference. So in summary, 2026 is, I think, generally higher quality, particularly down in the Southern Ocean, and we'll go and have a look at some of these features. Like every GEBCO update, it's always 2 steps forward and 1 step back. So there are some areas that seem to have lost detailed data, but in general, it is a step forward and data quality has improved. So as a summary, if you want to stop watching now, I absolutely recommend 2026, and that you should stop using 2025 and migrate to the 2026 dataset. So let me just open also the classification dataset. Let's put on our tooltip here so we can see what these values mean. Do some zoom linking. So I'm going to drive the zoom from this map, and I'm going to respond to it in my classification map. So I'll go back to this one. Now if I zoom in on here, we should be able to swap straight to our classification map, and it's in the same place. So looking at it globally, when I flip between these two layers, and you might be able to see up in the top right hand corner it's showing 2026, 2025. You'll probably see no difference at all. Even at this scale, for me, it's very difficult to see any changes. The main changes are down, on a broad scale, are down in the Southern Ocean. So the people that prepare the data for the Southern Ocean seem to have improved it a fair bit. So there's 26, there's 25. So you can see that there's an improved level of detail in that Southern Ocean data. Come across here, we can certainly see there's 25, 26. So certainly some improvements in there. And across here, yes, certainly in this area. That's 25, 26, 25, 26, 25, 26. So some substantial improvements. Up here north of Japan, I can see that there's some significant improvements here. So there's 2025. You can see you got this nasty looking feature here. 2026, mostly improved, and most of those issues go away. So that's quite a substantial improvement. Also down here off to the west of Japan and east of Korea. So there's 2025. There's 26. So you can see that there's some significant improvements in this area. And there's a nice canyon there to be looked at one of these days. Out in the Pacific, certainly some improvements, but not a huge amount of difference. There's more data. There are additional tracks coming in, but nothing spectacular. Down the east coast of Australia, not much to see. It's largely the same. Looking over on the west coast off the northwest shelf, there's 2025. There's some big differences in this central area. 2026. So you can see that all of this area in here and along here, along the edge of this plate boundary, has all been cleaned up. And that's quite a substantial improvement. Also up here near Timor, a substantial improvement in the bathymetry there to the south of Timor and Indonesia. Up in the Bay of Bengal, there's the new one, there's the old one. Really no change. There's some improvements around the edge here. You can see in the Bay of Bengal that there are all these channels. And you can just see fragments of them where somebody has sailed over with high-resolution data collection. All coming from the Himalaya, of course, from the Ganges and so forth. But no new data in there, so unfortunately we don't have this channel picture resolved yet. But one day, hopefully this will get surveyed and we'll be able to see the extraordinary. There's an extraordinary tale to be told, I think, in the Bay of Bengal. One day once we get the data. So down here south of India, not much to see. Moving around into Hormuz, Strait of Hormuz. Okay, so there's 2025, 2026. So some fairly substantial improvements in resolution around here, for example. And up here, just general improvement in quality. Quite noisy and spotty. They've improved their techniques. And we've got substantially better data there. Coming around now to the Horn of Africa. Some improvement in quality here. Low resolution in 25, higher resolution in 2026. Coming around the southern end of Africa, not much to see. Here we are on out onto the east of South America, and again, not a lot to see. Not a huge amount of improvement in the Atlantic. There are more survey tracks, but individual survey tracks, don't really do an enormous amount to improve the picture. Something here. So that's 2025, 2026. So they've filled in this area with some high resolution data. Probably satellite. I guess if we go to this, oh no, multi-beam. They've got some multi-beam sonar. So they've got some new high resolution data in there. Up here in the Caribbean, not much to see, mostly unchanged. Unchanged in the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, I think we call it now. Up the east coast of America, nothing much to see there. And coming out to the west coast of America, again, not much change in detail out here. Certainly no changes over near Hawaii. They already had high resolution data. And out in the Pacific in general, seeing no substantial changes, just the addition of, isolated ship tracks going across and adding data to the data set. So that's GEBCO 2026. Get it from my website. You can use ProRaster Essential, Premium, or Scientific to view this data. And as I said at the beginning, 2026 I think is a substantial improvement in quality over 2025, although there are some areas that have gone backwards, but I recommend 2026 as the data set that you should be using going forward.